Talk just briefly about phonics instruction, some general ideas for just a few minutes. Just to start with, in terms of a definition, phonics instruction, the purpose of phonics instruction is to teach the relationship between written sounds, which are called graphemes, and phonemes, or the sounds, the 41 to 44 sounds that we make. According to the NICHD, about 30% of school children may need intensive phonics instruction. In other words, these students need explicit, systematic teaching of beginning word reading skills in small groups using carefully designed instructional sequences, such as say the sounds, then blend the sounds. And then they also need lots of opportunities to practice and review. We're going to do a few do when you teach phonics, and we're going to do a few don'ts when you teach phonics. So do, teach in a logical order. Do, teach the sounds of letters before teaching letter names. Do, practice new phonemes in isolation for 5 minutes. Do, teach the continuous sounds before the stop sounds. And do, teach the lowercase before the uppercase. And then do teach a connection to spelling. In terms of things you don't want to do, don't teach letter sound correspondence and letter combinations that sound similar or may confuse students in the same lesson. For instance, the letter sounds are the sounds made by the letters M and N, or the sounds made by the SH and the CH. Don't put those together. Also, don't introduce the exceptions too soon. You want to use examples that are consistent with strategy and practice. Remember the principle of direct instruction and examine the curriculum. You've got to remember also not to say sounds adding a schwa. Say t rather than t. Okay? So how do we teach a new sound? We use direct instruction, and if you're not familiar with direct instruction, we start with number 1, it's my turn, and I model as the teacher. So the teacher's turn, I model what needs to happen, and then it's your turn. That's their guided practice, and that's when they are working and we're guiding them. And then the third part is the individual student checkout. Sometimes people refer to this as I do, we do, you do, and it's the same exact principle. I do, I'm the teacher, so I take my turn and model it first. You do, it's your turn, or I'm sorry, we do, it's your turn, but I will guide you in that practice. And then you do an individual student checkout with me, and that's how I know if you've understood it. When we do a direct instruction, we use signaling, we use word signals and hand signals, and we use unison responding. The whole class responds together. We do a lot of co-responding. Everything is together. And then when we come across an error and we have to give error correction, we go right back to my turn, and we do that with the whole group. So we're working, and then there's an error. In order to correct it, we go back to my turn, and I go back to the I do part where I model. Direct instruction is very fast-paced and it's very repetitive, and hopefully you will add some fun to it. Students generally enjoy direct instruction. In terms of the sequencing of new sounds, what we want to do is kind of in this order. We introduce D, S, F, M, and T in their initial and final positions first. Then we introduce the short A, and then once we have those down, we can introduce all of the consonant sounds. Then short O and short I, the digraphs, the initial consonant blends, the short U, and then the final consonant blends. Also, after we've gotten those, then we do short E, long vowels, syllabication, R-influenced words, the suffixes s, ing, and ed, and the vowel teams AI, EA, OW, and EA, the diphthongs oi and aw, and then our prefixes. And then just so you can see kind of what a scope and sequence looks like in the early weeks of beginning instruction, I have this here for you. Okay? There's more in the module. I just wanted to go over that briefly with you to get you ready. Okay? Thanks so much.